This guy becomes stronger by consuming girls. But not long before this, our protagonist is Laya Oran. He was diagnosed with a condition called anomaly syndrome, a rare disease caused by monsters. The affected ones, they can't resist the energy emitted by beings interdimensional. They slowly consume their bodies until death. However, after their parents, they will get caught in the crossfire between beings, awaken and monsters. She seems incapable of giving up. He has a younger sister to take care of. A few days after his diagnosis, joins a team of exterminators in the suburbs of the city. The leader of the extermination team, 11, Jen apparently informs them of the details of the mission. A few days ago, dozens of reports of level 1 monsters attacking people in the area. Your mission is quite simple. Enter the lair of the monsters and finish them off. Saijin, he tells the team that level 1 monsters are easy. Apparently, they've already eaten. Saijin is a high-class steel awakening. Saijin is confident that if they stick to the plan, they won't have any problems with the mission. Ask them if they have any questions. But once they respond that it doesn't order them, let them get started. The team members, they are very excited to face the monsters. As Oren is the only one not awakened in the group, he asks if you're familiar with your role as a carrier. Oren stays standing there, carrying a big bag that looks a water reservoir behind them. Oren assures Saijin that he knows what he has to do. Oren knows that for someone like him, the only way to work with a squadron of extermination is being a carrier. The porters don't fight. They just keep supporting the team, supplies, and making sure the provisions are in place. Stay safe. They also take care to clean up after the battle and collect any valuable material from the monsters. Oren assures Saijin that he knows everything about the job. Since it's not the first time she has done it, soon finds the monsters' lair, and they get to work. How are they level 1 monsters? The team members crush them easily. They hit the heads of the monsters, crushing them without any problem. Those who use swords cut monsters, and those who magic powers hit them. With the best spells that Oren has, he feels relieved. Hope everything goes well and they're going to finish. In a short time, admit that there is a power difference between humans. Wake up and be normal humans. It's too big. Suddenly, a loud noise in the area and quickly realizes that the monsters of level shouldn't have been able to make such a noise. Fear takes hold of him and the sweat runs down his body. Being shocked to realize that something is going very wrong. Something huge stirs the grass next to him and, to their great surprise, a big snake appears from the inside of the forest. It turns out to be a level 5 Titan match. And the moment the rest of the team sees her, they are paralyzed by fear. The sweat is running their bodies, while one of them reveals that he has seen the monster on television before. They are surprised to have encountered a monster so scary in the area, when intelligence told them that there was only level 1 monsters. While everyone remains as still as rocks, Saijin, he is the first to act and let them come out of their lethargy. Tell them to run, since death is the only thing that awaits them if they go to the leader and shout at them. It helps them get out of their state of paralysis. And they make them run. While they run through the forest, they realize that there's no way they can escape from the trap. One of them suggests that they are going to need to distract the umpire. He realizes that in reality, they have something or someone they can use as bait. Sigian is going to pull a trick before he realizes what's happening. Receive a blow to the chest. Blood is spilling everywhere. And Oren is forced to ask Sigian, why has Sigian attacked him? He responds rudely to him. He is the only one of them who doesn't know how to fight, which makes him totally useless. He grabs him by the neck and tells him that he will be the perfect bait. Moreover, Saijin reveals that she has read the file knows that he suffers from the anomaly syndrome. What does it mean? Saijin is about to die. He supports Oren in the air while blood drips all over the floor. Then, Saijin tells Oren, since he's already a dead man, I should do something useful. Next, throw Oren to the python, while telling him not to blame them for being the total loser that he is. Oren crashes into the ground and bounces back. Where is the monster? He is totally weak and coughing up blood. The python sees Oren and immediately opens its mouth, ready to devour it. Oren wonders if this is how he's going to die. Remember that his mother made him promise would take care of your sister, no matter what happened. With tears in their eyes and with their last breath, they tell their children that both of them must stay alive. Just when the python, she is about to be swallowed up, a magic circle right below Oren A red light illuminates it, and this is the last thing you see before closing your eyes. When she opens
he
is standing
eyes
on what appears to be a podium. What surprises him, since Oren is supposed to be dead, check his body and see that his wounds have disappeared. And what's
He's
more,
wearing
a red and black suit that gives him a commanding presence. He wonders if all this is happening because of the light that he saw before he died. At that moment, he hears a woman's voice near him. He turns around and sees a ghost. And when he looks ahead, go to a group of them watching and celebrating. The one who is next to him and she are the ones who have summoned Oren. Using an old parchment they found, the succubi are very happy. Finally, they've found a man of quality. After searching for so long, they talk about how excited they are to be in the presence of a man who exudes a strong aura and magic. They're arguing about how they're dying to sleep with Oren. While all this is happening, Oren remains totally confused. He wonders what is happening and why there are so many succubi in the area. Oren can see a status panel in front of him, but it seems like the girls can't see him. In the status panel, start. It's a blood demon. Level 1 in the section of your divine race. It turns out that he is now a vampire. While Nika is looking at the status panel with confusion, he tells him that he has using an ancient summoning set. When the matrix was activated, the skies changed color and an immense magical power emerged from her. What apparently surprised the girls. Neko is a level 3 succubus monster and believes she is a very powerful person, capable of creating such a disturbance. At that moment, Neko tells Oren that he swears loyalty to him. At the moment when she says Oren receives a notification in the panel that informs that Oren has gained his first follower. He is confused by this. He knows that he received the notification after Neko swore loyalty to him. Touch Neko's status, and with it, you can see your statistics. She is 18 years old. And it's a level 3 monster of the race. As for her features, she's a succubus. He craves for strength and feels admiration for anyone who is strong. And in the affection section that is located below the panel, the system tells him Oren says that Neko's affection for him is currently 88%. The system tells you that when a follower's affection reaches 100%, you can choose to add it to your and receive a mysterious reward. It was then that Oren finally realized that he had obtained a much greater power to any awake being. What is the blood demon God system? He has finally obtained the power that will carry out the revenge you're seeking. While still trying to process everything that is happening, Neko approaches him and snuggles up to his chest, asking him why he seems so excited. He asks if you feel so rigid after sleeping for so long, and if you'd like to stretch a bit, Ohurin. He doesn't know what he's doing, but they agree with Neko and tell him that in reality, need to move. As soon as Neko says this, he tells her that she is free to touch him as she wants and wherever she is willing to help her master to relax, even if it's just with your body. Neko starts to take off her bra straps, telling Oren that it's his first time, but who is willing to do everything possible to please him. When the rest of the girls hear this, they start to scold Neko, calling her shameless for trying. Get ahead of them to enjoy the master exclusively. One of them believes that she is more suited for the task because your body is softer and much more comfortable than Neko's gold one. Can't process adequately the fresh melons that he has in front of him, and he tells you shouldn't get the wrong idea. Since he's not trying to take advantage of her, he wonders if the girls are so desperate. At the moment when she says Neko's level of affection, it immediately drops from 88% to 85%. Nika feels disappointed upon hearing her master say this and ask him what he's doing wrong. If your body is not enough, to satisfy him for a moment, Oren. He realizes that he shouldn't have said what he said. Since affection seems to be the central mechanics of the system, and he realizes that he needs take advantage of the system's power if you want to get revenge. Oren realizes that he needs maximize the affection of the Oren girls. Take action and tell Neko. He must have misunderstood what he wanted to say. He tells Neko that she's beautiful, but he doesn't stop there. He tells all the girls that they are beautiful and that he has never met anyone as unique as her. As soon as Nika hears this, his face lights up with excitement. The system notifies Oren says that Neko's affection has increased to 90 out of 100. Neko is still blushing with excitement as she tells Oren nervous. What's with the nice things you're saying to him, her? Oren continues to say, who is still trying to adapt to things. as it has just been invoked. Oren tells Nika that he needs energy as soon as possible. Neko hears this and tells Oren that what he needs is blood. Given that he is the demon god, she slightly turns her neck and says to Oren he can take all the blood he wants. In fact, he considers it an honor to give his blood to Oren. You suddenly realize that there's a burning sensation inside him. He can't control it. He wonders why he feels so restless, and he thinks it could be the instinct of a vampire. Oren couldn't resist. And before you know it, he sunk his teeth into Nico's neck. Nico opens his mouth with pain and pleasure. Her face turns red, bright with excitement, just as Oren does this. The system tells him her too. Nico's affection has increased to 92%. Nico shed tears of joy while Oren was drinking of his neck and realized that it had merged completely with his master. Oren received the notification that you have unlocked a new skill. What is the fusion of blood? Because of this, their strength attribute has increased by 1 point. After feeding Nico, Oren stares at the panel in surprise while observes with enthusiasm the new skill that I just acquired. He never knew that drinking blood would also count as something weird. Check the attributes of the blood fusion in detail. The ability of blood fusion allows him to absorb fresh blood from an opposite gender, which will give him an attribute random for each objective that it feeds on. But you can only activate it once. Aaron is surprised to see him just obtained a skill that increases attributes. No need to level up. Although the gain of statistics is random, Oren, he knows that if he can feed on enough targets, you'll definitely be able to level up much faster. Oren knows that the skill is quite crazy. Then Oren calls Neko, and he tells him that he needs more blood. Neko is happy to hear this and tells Aaron she can take all the blood she wants. Oren corrects the misunderstanding and tells Nika who doesn't want their blood. He says he needs more women's blood, and he doesn't drink the blood of many women. From the moment the rest of the girls listen to this, they're bursting with excitement and revealing how anxious Oren also drinks from them, realizing that nobody is opposing the suggestion. Oren tells them that everyone should get to work. The first girl he drinks from, Oren gives him an additional point of resistance. The next girl gives him a point of intelligence. And the next one gives him agility. The next one gives you a point of spirit. Oren continues like this and accumulates points. The notification keeps appearing while drinking from the girls. The girls are in a state of excitement. They tremble with joy while they declare that they feel pain and pleasure when bites them. Some even say that their soul is connected to Oren and they feel that they are ascending. Oren is happy after feeding on them, since he realizes that each and every one of them have the fusion of blood. Thanks to that, he has gained a lot of attribute points. However, she believes her reaction to being is a bit exaggerated. In addition to the notification of Oren attributes, he is informed about the affection levels of the succubi. They have increased, and he's surprised that the succubi have such sensitive bodies, something that he didn't know. After feeding, they retreat to the village of the succubi. That night, Nico goes to the room of Oren announces his presence upon entering. Apparently, Nico is there to get more excited with Oren, since the other girls aren't around. He approaches Oren's bed and gently climbs onto it, revealing that since Oren, he left his mark on it, he has been for that exciting sensation. That's why he wants them to deepen their connection. He expects Oren to show him how mischievous he is. How are they alone in the room? Nico wants his master to turn her into a real demon and enthusiastically places his hands on the sheets. Just then, he realizes that something is very wrong. What he's touching gives him a very strange feeling. Curious, he pulls the sheet and finds a wooden trunk underneath. Nico is surprised to see this, realizing that his master has found something else that he considers more important than her. Meanwhile, Oren is somewhere else trying to level up. Although he is still a level 1 vampire, it's full of statistics after absorbing a lot of girls' blood. Oren already gives priority to trying to get combat experience to be able to level up. After this, he plans to go after and take revenge on the piece of trash who left him for dead. Oren is in a cemetery, and you can feel the energy that emanates from him as he has gained experience going out with extermination squads. You already know the cemetery is infested with monsters. She believes she can release some magical power, Oren. It is placed in position, a terrifying aura to see what happens. Their magic resonates with the living dead, and they come out of their graves in droves, demanding to know who has come to disturb their peace. There are a lot of ghosts. A level 1 faceless person staring at him, ready to teach them a lesson in life. All the faceless ghosts, they turn out to be undead women, and they attack Oren. Oren remains imperturbable, and he knocks his head off with a punch. To the first ghost that approaches him, Oren tells them confidently they are nothing more than level 1 monsters. And since they can't kill him, the rest pounce on Oren. But he can feel the green aura that surrounds him. What gives them the confidence that they are not on their level? He continues to type, trash and sweep the floor with faceless ghosts. While doing it, he gains a lot of experience. And in a short time, you reach level 5. You also gain a lot of attributes. The faceless ghosts, they soon realize that they are no match for Oren, and they make a U-turn to leave, whistling before I turn them into marshmallows. Like his companions, however, I pray he is not willing to let them escape. And he pursues them like a crazed debt collector. While pursuing them, unlock a new skill, the Crimson Flash. This skill allows him to carry out 2 short-distance sprints in 5 seconds, knocking down the living dead, Oren. Finally, they realize what it feels like to fight monsters as an awakened one. Oren is glad to have obtained the power and smiles, reaches level 8 in a short time, and he feels satisfied with himself for no longer being the useless bag carrier I used to be. Looking at your status panel, he realizes that he has been accumulating points like crazy. That strength, agility, and endurance, they will be their main strengths. During combat situations, how did you just unlock a skill? Passed in agility, the Crimson Flash. She thinks she doesn't need to invest too many points in agility. Focus your points on strength and resilience. Suddenly, they receive a warning of unexpected danger and when I looked up, go to a terrifying level 2 butcher, the supervisor, staring at it. The monster is considered dangerous for Oren's level, since the system even writes. The name of the monster in yellow is the soft monster. His sword against, but he manages to dodge it at the last moment. Before I cut it in half, Oren realizes that the monster is quite big, but it's slow due to its size. To make matters worse, there are 2 Orens. He almost got crushed by an anchor, but he manages to jump off the ground just in time. Oren remembers the faceless ghosts. They had their names written in green, and that's why he had no trouble finishing them off. However, the butcher's name is yellow, which means it's stronger. Even though they seem much stronger than him, Gold, he is not willing to give up. He is determined to take advantage of it, the second chance that fate has given him. He goes after one of the butchers and dodges his huge sword before putting behind him, however, to give him a kick in the neck. Their kicks do nothing to the butcher and Oren. He realizes that there's no way he can fight the beast with your fists and kicks. The other monster throws its chain in the direction of and Justo when he is about to get caught in it. Oren activates the Crimson Flash with it. Managed to escape the range of the chain in 1,000 seconds, saving his life. Oren managed to get to a safe distance, and he realizes that he has to face the 2 butchers at the same time. It's a difficult task, since both of them are covering each other's backs. However, while I was fighting against them, managed to pull out an iron sword. Oren's butcher's body rotation. He believes he has what it takes to defeat the butchers, as long as the struggle doesn't drag on. Therefore, he rages against and manages to block his attack with his broken sword. Oren, let the butcher know that you're not afraid of him at all, since he has invested 80 out of 100 of their strength points. And perfectly that if they confront each other face to face, I could win, even if it's risky. Oren makes a zigzag movement before disappearing, leaving the butcher wondering where Oren is. Before the butcher realizes, tell me what's happening. Oren appears right above him. Oren stabs his sword into the butcher's head, breaking his skull and spilling blood everywhere. When killing the butcher, Oren received the notification. He has leveled up and gained 5 attributes. Oren, She can't believe it. Defeat a monster. I've also leveled up. He realizes that's why he's fighting monsters. Strong is so addictive. How have you reached level 10? The system tells you that you've unlocked a new skill. Burial in a blood prison. This invokes a swamp of blood in the area. Objective to slow down the enemies and launch blood blades to cause great damage. After defeating the first butcher, the second one screams in horror. And Oren makes fun of him. The color of the second butcher turns green. And Oren points out that that's basically it means he has no chance against him. Oren assures him to the second butcher, who will soon send to meet with your friend. The butcher throws his anchor to Oren, but this is Oren's easy evasion. He is sure that he knows how to navigate among the monsters, since he has seen the extermination squadron doing their job. And now that he is far above the butcher, Oren easily dodges his attacks. Then decide that you're going to finish off the butcher with their new skill, the burial in the blood prison. Activate the skill, and the butcher gets caught in the blood before being impaled with blood knives. The butcher dies a horrible death, and this gives Oren chills. He realizes how brutal the skill is for having defeated the butcher. Wins a new title, that of Slayer of the Undead. The system informs you that the title is being granted to you. 5 per 100 additional damage the undead enemies when you use it soon. It's done, and Oren is proud of the progress he has made so far. Despite the fact that it was quite risky, he has reached level 11, and he has a lot of statistics to prove it. He is glad that at this pace, she is going to catch up quite quickly. Just at that moment, the system indicates that you have activated the daily mission that must be completed is being questioned. What will be the daily mission? And decide to take a look at it. She is quite sure. There will be a reward for completing the mission. It consists of fresh blood from at least one person of the sex opposite in a day. Since you can only merge with a character once, she must be a woman I haven't drunk with before. And the penalty for failing is a deduction. Random selection of 5 points. After seeing this, Oren, she realizes that she is treating her terribly. Remember that you've already drained all the women of the town the day before. And the system is only telling him that he needs suck the blood of a woman. He's angry because the system is basically trying to annoy him. He is in the middle of a cemetery and where is a woman supposed to find herself? Which to suddenly drain. He realizes that the ghosts, without a face, they are all women. He knows that he has defeated the ghosts. But since everyone is of the opposite sex, it's like sucking their blood. I should keep counting so that the mission is approved. Oren, he smiles, believing that he has found a loophole in his problem. One of his teeth in the undead, but to his surprise, the system tells him that the objective is rotten and it trigger the Oren blood fusion. It's assumed that this has happened because of he had been dead for too long. Since there are lots of faceless ghosts in the area, she thinks that one of them should work. Immediately grabs another undead, but to his surprise, you get the same result. He tried everything, but nothing worked, which left Oren frustrated and with my head in my hands. She realizes that it's because they are dead. Survivors and those who don't have fresh blood are blames himself for being greedy too much and exhausting. All the women in the village shout the day before. Frustrated and releases his magical aura because he needs to. Otherwise, you'll have to pay a penalty with the deduction of your points. Meanwhile, Neko is lying on Oren's bed, absorbing the aroma of your body suddenly. Released by Oren, reach out to her, and she immediately realizes that her master needs her. Meanwhile, the Red City group is heading towards the location of Oren the day before. They felt a strange wave of magic and they are there to investigate. It was a wave. Magic that hadn't happened before in the past, and that aroused their interest in one of them. He is convinced that they will be well rewarded if they discover the reason behind the magical surge. However, your partner arguing with him and telling him that they will get into serious trouble if they can't handle the cause behind the magical surge. The team leader intervenes. Then, in the conversation, he tells his subordinates there is no place for fear. They assure you that you have nothing to worry about as long as she is with them. The beautiful lady is Lee Susu. She is also worried so that other agencies can pursue the magical increase, since they're not the only ones who have detected it. And he wants them to be the first ones. Arrive at the place and claim the trophy for them. Before anyone else, shortly after, they arrive at the location of Oren. She is surprised to see humans in the area. There is a woman in the vehicle that approaches him. At that moment, the two boys who are in front, they get out of the car and wonder Oren is the guy they're looking for. One of them reveals that Oren, it's exactly what they're looking for, but it feels disappointed because the magic level is only at level 2, which is weak gold. He ignores us and feels totally disappointed. Upon discovering that the occupants of the car are men, it's easily noticeable that the men are there hunting them down by the way they're dressed and their posture. He's about to give up when Zorsali majestically from the vehicle and safe. And they immediately realize Oren is from the race of vampires. It turns out that Sor is quite powerful. How is she a lower-class golden warrior? Sori discards Oren, saying that it's not worth wasting time with him. She tells them who take care of the situation. She wants to lock Lauren in the trunk of the vehicle after they finish immobilizing it from the other side. Oren can't hide his excitement, because what he's looking for has just come to him. I needed a woman, and one just appeared. But she is worried about that. Be an awakened golden tear. He is very sure. There's no way I can face the South, since the system even indicates it with a red title. To make things worse, your subordinates are even a problem, since he can't sit still waiting to be killed. Oren takes action. Use a crimson flash. He disappears in front of them like a cloud of smoke. Before anyone realizes what's happening, she appears behind and is surprised, since I never expected a level to vampire would move as he does. Oren grabs her from behind and hugs her tightly. Shore's eyes turn red from surprise, realizing that Oren, he just touched her in one of her sensitive areas. She is wondering what to do. It's the first time it's been found in such a compromising situation. The boys are shouting at Oren, telling him to let her go. Your unit leader, although still paralyzed by emotion, he is asking Oren what he is trying to do. He wants to know why Oren is holding her. But just then, Oren apologizes for what he is about to do. He can't help it. Sink your teeth into your Ariane with this. It appears the notification that tells you that you have completed your mission. Daily, Zur has become a woman, and in all these years, no boy has touched her body. It's hard for her to control what she feels. Ends up rejecting Oren, using their powers. Oren crashes into a tree, but he makes a superhero landing while he's telling Joe what she really likes instead of what she claims. Sue can't believe that Oren has not only touched her body, but even if Oren has left a mark on his neck. Received the notification that Sue's affection level has increased to 30%. Sue, he tells Oren that the only way forgiving him is turning him into an ice sculpture. Oren is surprised to hear all this about Sue, since she wants to say the opposite of what she really feels. She is saying Oren lets her know that he can see through her. With a face as red as a tomato, she tells Oren to stop saying nonsense. He thinks he might have the chance to escape, since you have no intention of suddenly killing him. A golden card is rushing towards Oren at high speed, almost decapitating him. However, he interferes and catches the letter before it. Oren got injured. He realizes that the attacker is hiding somewhere in the area and suggests that person come out. At that moment, the ones responsible for the surprise attack, they come out of the forest where they were hiding. The two reveal that they have no bad intentions. You should calm your nerves. The two guys are sexy, a low-ranking awakening, and Yuan, a high-ranking awakening. Both of them are from the elite center and are fans. Suggests that they give it to Oren. Oren realizes that he has more problems, since those who just appeared are all strong. He wonders why fate is basically against him. That very day, she tells June and Yujong there's no way they're going to give Oren Shan to them, knowing that they were the first in arriving at the place, and that's why Oren belongs to them. She realizes take advantage of the situation for your own gain. Start saying sweet words to your loved one, letting her know that she is a very noble woman who only deserves him. At the moment when she says the system informs you that the affection of the show has increased to 40 out of 100. And she's trying hard to hide that she's blushing. She tells them and Oren belong to the Red City group. He can't control what he feels, but knowing that they will have to get over it. before being able to take Oren away. Oren continues to flatter his telling him that he has a overwhelming and those guys from the elite center. They have no chance against her. Just by continuing like this, their affection increases to 45%. Oren is making fun of them even more, telling your boss that you're subordinates. They are capable men who wouldn't let anything happen to him. The two affirm Oren's suggestion, saying that the Radzuri group, he has never been afraid of anyone. He realizes that there's no way to command his men unless they resort to violence. June draws a lot of cards to try to eliminate Shore, but she easily diverts them with her blizzard. Shore then goes on the offensive, directing their attack towards June and Yuen. June gets caught in the blizzard, and it looks covered in snow. What makes Yuen feel cold? He realizes that Swear is quite an intelligent woman. Since you're taking advantage of the situation for your own benefit, he smiles and says to him, "They've finally found a worthy opponent for you." She is worried. Since their attack hasn't even touched the young person. At the same time, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Yuenzer decide to go after. Tells him her subordinates who keep an eye on Oren to prevent him from escaping. Jumps through the air using her ice powers, leaving Oren undoubtedly astonished. It seems absolutely dangerous while building a spell and song of the spell. A gigantic ice flower emerges. June believes that Shure's attack is nothing. She realizes how wrong it is when the ice flower hits you directly. Shure's subordinates, they're happy to see this and celebrate their wonderful squadron leader when the dust settles. However, June is trapped in a wall of ice. Yuan stays standing and unharmed. And June telling him that there's no way he's going back with his father. To inform you of the current situation, Yujin is making fun of Jun for being defeated by a woman. He hears it and gets angry. Since Yujin's mindset, it's just that women are weak. He puts his power into full swing and tells Yujin he is the next one on the list. However, he remains unperturbed and tells she's overestimating herself. Suddenly, his subordinates, they are hit by arrows from an unknown attacker, and the arrows immediately petrify them. This attracts the attention of both Shure and Yuen. Since they don't seem to understand what just happened, Yuen's eyes lit up with surprise, wondering if another rival has suddenly appeared. The attacker reveals himself and turns out to be Neko, who runs towards her and tells how happy she is to have found her teacher. Oren is surprised and happy to see Neko. He asks him how he was able to find him. Neko reveals that she felt Oren needed her. While Neko smiles and blushes, she ran to help him and is always willing. Give it your all help your teacher Oren. He also admits that Neko by their side is a precious gift. The two embrace each other, leaving everyone else confused about what is happening between them. And before she realizes, she's already furious. She doesn't know why she's angry. He thinks it's all Oren and Nico's fault. Though, discard this idea, since she is not ready to believe it. Assume she is angry Neko because has turned his subordinates into stone and is attacking about them and tells them to stop being so clingy on the battlefield. Wants Neko, return your subordinates to their normal state. But before I can get to them, Yuen intercepts Yugwen. She tells him that he should be punished for hitting Zhang's sewer. He barely manages to follow Yugwen's movements. And he realizes that Yugwen is quite strong. With a single blow to the chest, Yugwen throws his partner into the air as if they were trash. Oren is surprised to see this and finally understands the true power of a high-class awakening. Gold and realizes that not even someone who is a golden lower-class awakening he has a chance against. Oren admits that neither he nor Neko can do it together. Even hurt Yugwen. At that moment, remember that the system told you to achieve giving 100 affection points to your follower would grant you reward. Oren reaches the bitter conclusion that this might be the only way to escape from Yugwen. Even Nika can feel how strong Yuen is, but she is not willing to show weakness when they are next to their teacher. While Yuen is walking towards them, he talks about how lucky he is to get a vampire and Izukubo is sure that his father will now see him as a real man and not as a loser. He assures Oren and Neko, whose death will be quick and painless. She is not willing to sit back and watch how they trample their teacher, Neko Lanza, a series of attack arrows with the goal of reaching Juven, but he easily dodges as if they were nothing. Just when the young person is about to catch them now, activate your Crimson Flash skill. The young person loses the opportunity to catch them. Disappears, and a young echo is surprised to see this, since she considers impossible a level to vampire be able to do what Juan just did. He turns around and sees Oren and Nico standing in the forest. On the other hand, Oren is worried because she thinks they're really finished, since he has exhausted his ability. The Crimson Flash. Oren decides that he needs to take Nico 100% before Yuan decide to end it with them. At the same time, he wonders why Nico's affection hasn't increased yet. He feels bad for having to apologize to his teacher for being a piece of trash who can't help at the right moment. She assures him Oren is going to work harder from that moment onwards. Just then, Oren makes a decision. Decide to take a big risk, despite the fact that there is a powerful enemy staring at them. However, Oren proceeds to kiss her, and at the moment he does it, her affection immediately increases to 99%. The young man is totally disgusted seeing the two of them kissing, and he concludes that the monsters they will always be trash to start with. Get angry and let it out. Aura to show. He is so annoying, and they would have started kissing if he hadn't been there. Enraged, he tells them that he's going to crush them until there's nothing left of them. Yuan pounces on them, Taro Horan. He can only pray for Nika. Reach 100% before Yuan crushes both of them. Before I can reach them, Sewer builds an ice shield around the two of them, protecting them from the enraged Yuan. This only makes me even more angry. Turns to Sewer and warns him. However, don't cross the line. She is not willing to back down in the face of an enemy and tell him to back off, since the vampire is his, and he reiterates that you'll have to get over it if you want to get to Oren, while the two of them are facing off. Finally, unlock the optimal phase with Nika. Nico's affection reaches 100% because her teacher has kissed her on the battlefield. Reaching 100% with Nika. The system informs Oren has unlocked a mysterious reward. Gains access to a one-time use of the Blood Peak skill. This skill unlocks all the attributes and abilities of the god Blood Demon, which gives him a fighting power unparalleled, and this lasts 10 minutes. Without hesitation, Oren activates the unleashing a terrifying aura in the surroundings. Fear takes hold of Shuri and Yuan, who realize how terrifying it has become. Suddenly, Oren breaks the ice wall, and with a elegant and a fiery aura, it reminds Yuan that he threatened to reduce him to dust. He's making fun of him, telling him to come closer and Yuan try it. Is absolutely paralyzed by fear, wondering how the magical power of Oren suddenly shot up when I was just a level 2 monster. Oren scolds Yuan for not attacking and letting him know the only chance Oren gave him has already vanished. Activate a skill called. He uses his demonic hand to drag Yuan towards him. Yuan tries to resist, but he can't until he gets to Oren, and he grabs him by the neck and strangles him. He realizes how powerless he is in the face and starts begging him not to kill him. Oren is surprised to hear this and reminds Yuan of it, who was boasting a minute ago. Yuan keeps begging, telling Oren that he's mistaken, not realizing how strong it is from the start. He wants Oren to forgive him, but that moment reminds Oren of something. The way he held Yuan with just one hand. It reminds him of when they were thing to talk about how he treated him like trash that was going to be thrown away. Oren then remembers that Saijin, he was a registered awakening in the elite center. And just remembering this, Oren is not willing to forgive Yuan. Oren throws it into the distance, but he still hits him in the stomach with a punch. The effect of the punch travels through Oren's body, and their eyes turn completely red, as if they were about to explode. He crashes into the ground while stumbling even more, and he ends up hitting the ground like a missile, being totally devastated. Yuan is so weak that he can't even lift a finger. Oren approaches him and places himself above him like a true one. The maniac finally has the feeling that strong guys have when they look at above the chest to those who are weaker than themselves. Home declares that the power of the demon god is absolutely destroyed, wonders if it will ever reach this maximum level with its own strength. On the other hand, Shur is still paralyzed by fear as she wonders if she will start. The same vampire that bit her a few moments ago, and believes that Oren has basically been hiding his powers. All this time, Shura is confused about why Oren acted so weakly and assumes that it was being intentionally contained. Neko watches how it all unfolds and smiles, commenting on how happy she is to have chosen Oren as his teacher. Blushes as he admires his massive faster from where he is. At that moment, June decided that it's time to escape from the cage in which he has been locked up. Shore breaks the cage, feeling like he's about to go crazy. Mentions that his only had the opportunity to because he let his guard down. Assures them that he will never cross paths again. At that moment, he sees Oren standing there totally undisturbed and carefree. Wonders what Oren is doing standing there accumulating aura. Oren feels upset just by hearing Chen's voice and a skill called Red Storm. Thousands of bats swarm when the June skill is activated. Thinks this is disgusting and yells at Oren. That drives bats away, yet bats surround it like flies. And when they finish, only June's bones remain. Defeating June gave Oren 5 levels. And realizes that level enemies gold give many points of experience. The Red Storm basically releases a swarm of bats to attack. Bats are heading towards the target of Oren and are very effective against a group of enemies. Oren is pleased to have gotten unlocked the ability permanently while lies on the floor. Sorjoen begs someone to help you or even save you. Oren turns to him and tells him to speak louder. Since Gwen can't hear it, is forced to tell Oren that he is afraid of dying. Tells Oren that his father is the president of the elite center and promises him whatever Oren wants if you only let it go once you. Oren makes sure that Gwen is begging to be left. Going home assures him that he will help him get to Yugwen. Lee thanks Oren for this by saying that Oren is a good person and will reward him for being good. Oren grabs Yugwen with her powers, telekinetics, and assures him that he does not need to reward him since he's just a quiet guy. Using their powers, Oren throws Yugwen straight into the air. Sue is surprised to see this and realizes that Yuen has just been launched in the direction of the city of realizes that Oren is sending Yuen home just as he had requested, but with some added advantages. The strength with which Oren throws the boys such that he crashes against the mountain. But keep going. Yuen continues to fly until she reaches her father's building, crashes into the building or what is left of it. Once he arrives in the city as requested, Oren gets a lot of attribute points. Oren smiles maliciously by mentioning that has arrived home safe and when sound. He clearly knows that there is not much left of the Oren boy. Additional 5 levels by defeating Joey, but believes that his experience points should have been higher. However, realizes that the higher you go, more experience you will need to level up. Oren turns around to look at Suar, already trembling with fear, wondering if it has been her turn to be destroyed. Oren tells Nika that he needs something from her and that he would like her to cooperate. Suar hears this and fear takes hold of her, wondering whether the next plan for Oren involves her. Neko assures his master, who is ready to do whatever he wants. Oren then activates the soul resonance ability. At the moment it does so, Neko begins to feel the energy running through his body. Energy is concentrated, especially in his grandfather Nika. Feels like something is about to shoot out of his chest at that time. The handle of a sword emerges from her smile, leaving her, since she does not know that something like this is hidden inside her. If it is Oren's sword coming out of its interior. The sword keeps coming out, and a burning sensation invades Nico's body. She begs Oren to slowly pull the sword out of his chest. Oren approaches Nika, grabs the sword, and begins to pull it, telling him that this is the result of the resonance of their souls, and assures Nika that Oren will be fine. Continues to pull the sword, and in a short time he pulls her completely out of his chest. Apparently the unique resonance ability can only be activated when the affection of a follower reaches their maximum level. This resonance creates then a special piece of equipment starting from the follower's body. The piece of equipment that he got from Nico is the blood sword. Bratzo is a place in Germany, realizing that he now has a weapon. He is surprised when he sees the sword out of Nico's chest. Shower almost urinates out of fear and tells Oren how strong it is. I shouldn't need a gun to finish her off. He also wonders if Oren has drawn the sword intentionally to be able to finish it off. He approaches Shower and tells him that he's thinking too much. Dip your sword and hit Shore with it for a moment. Shore is left naked, and you can feel a chill run through your body. Shore. She holds her body and tells Oren to kill her. Do what you want, but don't take off Oren's He tells him to keep it, your mouth and shut, let him know what he just did with her. It's just a warm-up. He tells him that there is only one way to live alive and not join the others in heaven. He tells him to follow him to the small forest that is behind. He tells him there's something important that I need to discuss with her. Sure realizes how messed up it is, wondering what you want to talk about. Oren and why he acts so indifferently. She also wonders Oren taking her to a secluded place, since you don't know what you really want. At that moment, Suor realizes something very important. She believes that Oren didn't kill her before for only one reason. He thinks that Oren likes him and takes advantage of your beautiful and magnificent body. Sue concludes that Oren might be a vampire. But what? After all, they are no different from normal humans. Sue admits that Oren, he's quite handsome, which leads her to think about the extreme. Is going too far by imagining Oren imposing his beautiful body on her, while she smiles like a demon. At that moment, Oren retreats to a tree. Juror's face turns completely red like a tomato, realizing that it could be the first time they've taken advantage of her, and concludes that everything she is about to do goes against all principles. Morales, who suddenly knows. Oren tells she to repeat it. Everything he tells her, she swears to him and that he will betray him. Jur is surprised to hear this and wonders if Oren, he is playing with her. With a stern and terrifying face, let him know that you haven't forgiven him. For her to question your authority. With an authoritative voice, he tells him that he only has to say the word, realizing that they have no other option. Jur blushes when pronouncing the words. After saying that, he asks her, is he happy now? At that moment, the system notifies Oren who has a new follower and who can check the details. When Oren checks his details, he realizes that he is 24 years old. She is powerful and an extremely competitive person. On the outside, she seems cold but deep down, stern. They're a good person too. He is narcissistic and he loves dominant due to their level of affection. Currently, it's at 45%. Alan smiles. Are you sure about that? Are you satisfied? Jur definitely melts from pure emotion when is approaching her. He wonders what Aru is trying to do. He concludes that he's about to kiss her, which will be their first kiss. Just then, Aru surprises her by stepping back and revealing the reward ends there. Jur is surprised to see this and asks him for the rest. Oren assures him that the petrification of his subordinates will disappear soon. Tell him to take his subordinates and leave the area. However, she lets him doesn't have freedom. She tells no one what has happened. With a very expressive look, though she knows how serious it is. Jur is paralyzed by fear. And after this, Oren is leaving, telling Jur that you've broken up with her. Jur is forced to ask Oren to wait. And Oren turns around and asks what is it that you want again? She tells Oren that her subordinates will go crazy if they wake up and see her. They beg her to ask Oren to help find a solution to this. Oren agrees and gives him his clothes to put on. Jur is impressed because she can feel the presence and the scent of Oren on the clothes. Because of this, their affection increases to 60% intensely with love written on their face. After the day's activity, Oren retires to the village of the succubi. She is satisfied with oneself because he has managed to reach the 21 and even unlocked many new skills. He's already becoming addicted to the feeling it gives him. Stronger and realize that you need to keep moving forward. At that moment, receives a notification that informs he can now challenge the blood prison because he has reached level 21. The system asks if you want to continue. However, the system informs that he can't earn points in the arena and that the injuries won't heal automatically once you move up a floor or leave the sand. But you will get generous rewards if he manages to overcome the sand. Oren, knowing that their injuries won't heal between fights what can affect your level up pace. He knows that the most logical thing would be to go up, accepting the challenge. But she doesn't want to do nothing. Oren stands up and accepts the challenge, declares that only the brave will be rewarded. The sand opens and Oren enters it like a true one. The Vampire King provides him with the arena, a new outfit that fits down to the last detail. Next, the system welcomes you to the room, preparing and telling him to choose a weapon for the battle. Around Oren, there are a lot of weapons, from axes to swords. You can choose the knight's two-handed sword. There is also the dagger that pierces the heart, the powerful one. A combat axe is also an option. And then there is the solar shield. Each of the weapons comes with additional stats. And no matter which one you choose, you will get boosters. However, he is confused about which weapon to choose. Since she doesn't have any skills with weapons, he fixes his gaze on a long cucumber without statistics. However, when using it to repeatedly prick enemies, they suffer spasms for a while. Without thinking twice, he immediately chooses the cucumber. He knows that the cucumber looks quite ridiculous, but he knows that using it well will be useful to him. For a moment, the system tells you to choose an upgrade. Help him in the battle. There is the improvement that breaks armors. And every attack that reduces the enemy's defense by 11% per 100. There is improvement that instantly restores 30% of health. And the strength of the team. That gives him a random piece of equipment. Oren is disappointed about having to choose an upgrade when you don't even know your enemy. However, as a good player, he knows how to reduce the enemy's defense. It will always be a safe option. That's why choose the improvement. Break armors. After choosing your weapon and its upgrade, is teleported to the blood arena and lands in the arena of blood, and the system welcomes you. He looks around and realizes that definitely it's in an arena because it looks like the Colosseum. There are spectators everywhere, and the presenter welcomes Oren to the first floor of the bloody prison arena. Oren discovered that there are floors 50, and each of them has its own defender. They tell him that he must defeat the defenders to earn rewards and be able to go to the next floor. The presenter and commentator, Sally, presents herself with a charming voice. Oren, he can't believe there's a female commentator on the sand. He immediately realizes that something is waiting for him. Sally informs, telling the viewers that Oren is a vampire with powers, Scarlet, but still a rookie. He wonders if he will be able to surprise in the arena. With this, Sally introduced the defender of the first floor. She emerges from the entrance of the arena in a white dress, but tears are running down their cheeks. Oren is forced to ask him why he's crying. And she responds, "Who is the one who talks to the dead? And what can you see when people they are about to die with their words?" What makes her look very scary. And it turns out to be a breakthrough called Vinida Ida. He tells Aaron that he appears when the end is near to be able to cry for the condemned ones. He keeps crying and tells Aaron that feel an overwhelming aura of death around you. So she's going to cry for him. Oren is surprised to hear this and asks Ida if you think you're going to die in the sand. Oren is also confused about why the name is Ida. Now, it shows a power ranking. He wonders if the sand has been altered. The system's display settings. Oren decides to stop dwelling on the matter, because you can easily feel the power emanating from Ida. Oren takes the first step and launches the red storm against her. However, Ida easily takes down bats without effort. Even in motion, bats are torn apart and gone. He assures Oren your bats can't do anything to me. Ida makes her move, and before Oren realizes it, Ida disappears from where she is and reappears just behind Oren. She declares the fight over while trying behead Oren. Surprisingly, Oren dodges his attack. Jump in the air, making fun of it. ITA that you've intentionally provoked her. Since the red storm has not had any effect on her, wants to see how he's going to handle his long thread cucumber. Try to prick it with the cucumber, but she takes it away from him. He takes her hand and tells her that he won't allow it. Sally makes a comment about it. For those who are clearly blind or looking at the other side of the arena, it suggests that the fight might be going in Edith's favor. Suddenly, Sally, change your mind and say that things are going in Oren's favor. He has managed to grab Ede and put her in a position. Rita is committed. She is surprised to see that he wonders how it's possible that Oren turned out to be stronger than her. He knocks her to the ground while sitting on top of her. It keeps her immobilized, and he tells him that he's surprised by the weapon he's chosen. It worked so well. He tells ITA that the moment he saw the cucumber, he lost his composure. Then Oren suggests to ITA that she should give up because it's clear that he is stronger than her. There's no way she can escape from his grasp. Oren continues to mock her, telling her that she won't get hurt if she stays still. However, ITA gets angry and shouts the loudly. Effect of their scream is enough to pull. Jaren is flying high. Oren crashes into the wall, and he realizes that he shouldn't underestimate Ida. The commentator announces the return of Ida. Go to the game and tell the spectators that he's about to use his ultimate move, the Howling Alpha. It's a cry that awakens the deepest fear of death in the goals of departure. The scream crushes the target's mind. exhausting his will to fight until dragging him to Sally's abyss of death, announces that Oren is finished. If your mental strength is not up to par. Just at that moment, Oren is holding his head in pain, and the commentator concludes immediately that Oren is finished as he believes it's gone. He has won and the fight is suddenly decided. Oren is in front of his mother. Oren is surprised to see his mother, and the woman greets him calmly. Welcome to Oren. He is surprised and his eyes light up with utter disbelief. He is forced to ask his mother again if it's really her. The woman makes fun of Oren and asks him something. Who else could it be if not her? Her mother is impressed because of how much Oren has grown over the years. Then he extends his hand towards. Oren tells him to take her so he can see him better too. He wants them to stay together and never separate again. Oren walks towards his mother with the intention of holding their hand, as she has suddenly asked him to listen to his mother, say that they should go to paradise together and never separate from Oren again. He stops and his mother asks him why he has stopped. Suddenly, she insta hurry up and get it. Give them your hands so they can leave Oren. Then speak, telling your supposed one mother death is not something new to him. He has been betrayed for his teammates and thrown to the monster as bait for me to kill him. In addition to this, he has suffered from strange illnesses under the constant fear that I could die at any moment. She has also survived battles between awakened beings and monsters. When I was a child, mentioned that his mother took a risk, giving her life to save him and his sister. After saying all this, he emits a truly terrifying aura from his body, revealing that he didn't suffer all just to have their life taken away for a cheap trick. Oren returns to the arena, surprising everyone, including Ida. Ida can't believe that her ultimate move, it didn't work with Oren. Oren takes the cucumber with his hand again, while Ollie congratulates you for having the definitive departure movement. She praises his mental strength, saying it's incredible. Sally thinks the fight has become more interesting. At that moment, Oren activate a blood concealment skill and tell Ida, who has discovered their abilities. At the moment when you put the skill into practice, Oren becomes invisible. Ada is making fun of He tells him that his stealth technique won't protect him from what she is about to do to him. A strong purple aura emanates from his body as he releases energy in their attacks. Launch the attack that covers the entire arena and believe in Oro. There's suddenly no escape. He feels the cucumber pricking his mouth. At the moment when the cucumber does this, the Oren armor-breaking effect comes into play. He makes fun of her and tells her to stop crying like a baby. This surprises everyone, including Sally. They can't believe that Oren has broken the enchantment of departure. As if nothing happened before. I don't know what's going on with the cucumber once again. She repeatedly pricks it and with it reduce their defense by 1 per 100 each time they do it. He can't believe that a cucumber can be so strong. He realizes that each stroke of the cucumber hurts him more than the previous one. What makes it totally unbearable for her. The pain is so intense that I can't bear it anymore. Oren hasn't finished with her yet. He's pushing himself even harder and activating his combo. ITA is forced to enter a state of spasm. Life crashes into the ground while its defense. It's still decreasing. She is lying on the ground, unable to move or control her body uncontrollably, while wondering what is really happening to him. When Oren breaks up with her, a loud explosion shakes the sand, leaving Ida in a crater. Oren gets up. Proud asks Ida, if you want me to keep poking it, go ahead. She apologizes and begs Oren to stop teasing her. He has lost all his defenses and continues realizing that there's no way to get back into the fight. Even the commentator Sally gives up. He gets lost in the fight while watching Oren confront Ida. She is absorbed in her thoughts until Oren pulls her out of her self-absorption, asking him to declare the fight over as a draw. He has surrendered. Sally feels obliged to apologize and tells Aaron, who has lost their composure after witnessing such an elegant performance from them. Sally then announces that they will hunt. He is the winner of the fight. After the surrender, it reveals that now Naora is qualified to enter on the second floor of the arena. As a reward, now Naora gets an abnormal resistance of more than 1-0. This increases resistance against mind control, the poison, the bleeding, and other negative effects. He also gets a skill point, which allows you to improve an unlocked skill to enhance its effects. Oren is impressed by the rewards he has received. He realizes that not only are his attributes but they can also improve their skills. Admit that it was really worth coming to the arena. Next, the system is asking if you want to go to the second floor. Oren is quite sensible, as if to know that he has achieved what he was looking for. Rush into another battle to impress someone. Cost him his life. Oren promises to return to the arena. Once you level up with this, reject the offer to pass to the next floor, and he gets out of the sand. Just when she sets foot the system outside, notifies you that you have unlocked a hidden skill. Victors are in pack. She is surprised to have gained a skill and wonders why the skill. He waited for me to leave the arena to activate himself. Arn checks the details of the skill, and he realizes that it's a skill that allows him convert the opponent defeated in the arena by their followers. This skill allows him invoke them to fight by your side. Oren. He is surprised and impressed by the skill. At the same time, he can't believe they've given him something to invoke to those who they defeat in the arena so they can come out and help him in the battle. He realizes that when he surpasses 54s, basically, you'll have an entire army to summon. Just as he arrives at his door, I hear Nico's voice coming from inside. Open the door and find Nika in his bed. Nika is caressing the bed while thinking about his master. It's absorbing the heat and the aroma of the bed. And admit that the aura is very strong and